Are you a Coloradan who's downsizing and transitioning to a different season of life? Let's talk about 6 ways that people often get stuck in that process. I help Coloradans transition to different seasons of their life by helping them buy and sell property through a structured hands-on process. So details are handled proactively and transactions are stress-free. The first thing that often comes up with clients is when they don't have a clear direction for where they're going or where they want to end up with. So that's one of my first questions is that I start with every time is where do you want to be and what do you want this process to look like so we get you to where you want to go? If you don't know where you want to be, you can't get there, right? And so we want to be very intentional and ask that right up front to be very clear about where you want to end up in the process. We also want to narrow that down respectfully and kind of narrow down your options. So analysis paralysis, if you have too many things that you're considering or too many or really, too many things is really the equivalent of not knowing what you want to do or where you want to end up or what your needs are. So we want to help narrow those down, not to restrict you or box you in, but to serve you well in considering all of your options and what your goals, needs, and priorities are in your life, which are different for everybody. So you can decide what's right for you and you can decide where you want this process to go and where you want to end up when we're done. The second thing that I see it's very common with clients is underestimating how much stuff you own. Look, we are Americans. I've got tons of stuff. I've got a family of 6, and we've got so much stuff. A lot of people underestimate how much stuff they have and the time that it's going to take to pare that down. A lot of people are downsizing, and they need to get rid of some of that stuff. They don't need to, but oftentimes it's a necessity depending on where they're going if they're downsizing. So we need to consider that up front and help you decide what you're going to do with 20, 30, 40 years of accumulated stuff. The third thing to consider that is also very common is that people wait too long before contacting me. I've had clients contact me 2 or 3 years before they're planning to move, so I can meet with them numerous times beforehand and be intentional in that process. Some people come to me weeks before they're needing to make a transition, whether that's logistically or due to a health issue. And it would be nice for them. I don't mind moving fast, and I can move super fast velocity if necessary, but generally it's not great for clients when they come to me sort of last minute to get stuff done. It creates more pressure and perceived stress for them. So you can't contact me too early. This is a long play. This is what I do for a living, and I'm not going anywhere. And so contacting me months or years, even a year or 2 ahead of time is not too early to gear up toward a process like this and helps me serve you better. Help me help you. The fourth thing that does not helpful for clients and does not serve them well is actually trying to do all of this alone. I love coming along clients in a very relational and tender way and advocating for them in the process and doing all of this with them as we go. None of us are designed to live alone. We're designed as humans to be in relationship. And I would love to be in relationship with you, not to be overbearing in that, but to advocate for you, come alongside you, and encourage you through processes and providing resources so this process is less stressful for you. No systems, no proactivity, and no support is generally not a good thing, and again, can lead to fear, stress, and a feeling of chaos and lots of overwhelm. I don't want that for my clients ever. The fifth thing to consider, which is closely related to number 4, is fear of making the wrong decision. Again, you're not alone in this process. I am with you. I see you. I get it. And I'm very intentional about coming alongside clients and helping them make decisions and not have analysis paralysis. So bringing resources, holding space for you, and allowing you to make the right decisions for yourself and be intentional about that so you don't feel overwhelmed. I want you to go into this process feeling confident, eyes wide open, and that there are no surprises as much as we can control as we go. That's what creates less fear and anxiety for people in a process of transitioning into a different season of life. The sixth thing that causes trepidation is having no clear step-by-step plan. When we aren't sure what's going to or needs to happen next, we can't be on top of things. And when we're not on top of things, that's when the overwhelm comes in and we feel flooded and we can't make good decisions. And that leads to fear and a perception of chaos in a transaction. There's dozens and dozens of moving parts. We're just talking about 6 here, but there are hundreds of moving parts in a transaction. And it's my job to come alongside you and make those as smooth and seamless as possible. My name is Leif. I'm a relational realtor who's as down to earth as it gets, super genuine, straightforward. My contact information is below. I would love to hear from you. When you reach out to me, you get me directly. You don't get delegated or shuffled off to somebody else. I pride myself on serving every client relationally with integrity and wholeheartedness. I'm looking forward to hearing from you. Please reach out and let's have a conversation to see how I can work with you.